Let's now look at the differences between the process mining, data mining, and business process management, which is of course BPM. Process mining is a hot topic these days. So these are interlinked. So let's see what are those. So the process mining, data mining, and business process management. So what are these? Which one to start first? And how does it progress in the business? It's not who does, it should be how does it progress in the business. So which should come first? Whether process mining should come first, or process management should come first, or data mining. So which one should come first, or can that be a overlap between them? So that is what, so for that we need to understand each of them, and then it is much more easier as well. So let's look at, of course, this is the first one, business process management, and it can go on as well as and when required. Let's assume if there is a company and it has some legacy system in the sense for their business process to record the transactions, sales transactions, procurement transaction, inventory. They have some legacy system, they use spreadsheet, so they want to automate it. So they want to use a ERP system, be it Oracle, SAP, or whatever it is, or similarly a CRM system. And that is where a BPM is required, business process management, because you need to understand the business flows, how your procurement, the company's procurement process works. I mean, whether it goes from, there are different process, like whether it goes from a requisition, then it is taken to purchase order, creation of purchase order, and then the purchase order goods are received, and then followed by invoice for which payment is made. And similarly, there could be order to cash cycle, where the company could receive orders from the customer and process it, and it could vary between the industry to industry. There could be a retail industry, there could be a manufacturing industry, there could be a process industry, discrete or process manufacturing. So many are there, or a project base like construction, working in shipbuilding, laying of roads. So industries varies, and each of the they can implement an ERP. To first step to implement an ERP is to understand the business process and document that business process, and then appropriately do the implementation of the ERP, that is perform the setups, that is the configuration, do data migration for the ERP. So the first step is the business process management. So the business process management is an operation level view of the process being performed by the company. Operation level view, that is an important point to note how the business works. So that is what is defined through a business process management. So BPM lifecycle generally includes, initially you need to design it, modeling it, and execution is the time when you do the appropriate setups in the ERP, configurations of the ERP product, and then you need to monitor. You need to monitor how the ERP works, and then optimization if there is any bottleneck. And how do you find it? How do you optimize it? That is where the process mining comes into picture. We'll see that. So optimization, and then comes re-engineering, is where you need to, if there is a bottleneck in the process, then you do a re-engineering. So ideally, it's a kind of a, could be overlapping. So first, understand the big picture of business process management. So it involves designing, modeling, design the process, how the business process, and it is not going to be the same. It is going to be vary from company to company, more importantly from business to business, the model of the business, the country where it is being done. So there are a number of factors which involves in the business process. It could be varies as well. So you design it, model it. During the model, you do the setups, execution, try it out, execution, try out, transactions, monitor the transaction, optimize is where you do the mining is required, and then you can re-engineer as well. So BPM can be applied to the manufacturing floor, finance, IT, equally all departments to use use process to make work happen. So it is not just the manufacturing, as I said, could be in the retail industry, it could be in the hospitals. So those are industry specific, and each of these industries can have a finance department or IT department. There also you could have a business process management as well. So now you have an idea or overview of high level about the business process management. So this is an ideal example. This is for the car sales. Suppose a customer walks in, then it's a lead, qualify. So what kind of a car, new car or the pre-owned, that's an opportunity. Then a quote is provided based on the customer needs, and then add-on service, and finally based on the customer requirement you provide a quote which is accepted. Maybe this is where an order gets confirmed, generate the invoice and close. So this is a kind of a business process, and there could be some variations as well based on how it works. Probably it could be he doesn't want a maintenance part, then this will not, anyway this has a no is there, this is also tracked. Let's say depends on the customer. Suppose if it's a regular customer, this process will work. But if it is maybe a government customer, government procurement, this process might not hold good, because they go for process of tendering. Then the process will be different, little different. You give a quote, best price, little different. That's what is the variation in the business. Not all process will be same. There could be variations, and when variations happens, you get the bottlenecks, and you need to fine tune those bottlenecks so that the system works efficiently, and that's where the process mining will happen. So process mining. So process mining emerged several years back. It's common, just about happened in the last 10 years, since 2010 is what we keep hearing. But last few years, 3-4 years is what we are hearing about the process mining. From the BPM world, integrates the use of the algorithm from data mining to analyze event log data. So you need to understand what is an event log. So that is very important. Now all the ERP system has that in place, particularly for the process mining activity. So event log consists of a case ID, activity name, and the timestamp. So this is important. An event log, this is what is fed into the process mining software. We'll see that. So case mining, activity name, and the timestamp. So this is an example of event log for an hospital system. You have the event ID is probably the patient ID. So if you look at the patient ID, makes an X-ray, based on that some CT scan 5781, you have another one 5781 at a later point of time, and then handle payment because based on 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is an event log, makes X-ray, and then comes blood test, CT scan, and then the last one is D, which is handle payment. So A, then B, C, and finally D. So this is the event log. So this, and again this is for the procure to pay process. You have case ID, activity, timestamp, resource. So all these are actually fed into the mining software. The different process mining software that like Selenius process, which is the top leader. Then you have IBM, UiPath, Software AG, and Mint. So these are Selenius is the top leader. Otherwise, all the event log is fed into this software tool, the process mining software tool, which will analyze and produce you with the appropriate list results. So what is the difference between the BPM and process mining? So the essential difference between the process mining and BPM lies in the outcome. BPM cycle gives you the map of the ideal process. That is initially when ERP is going to be implemented. You have you give the process how it's going to work. That is what you configure in the ERP system. So ideally it should start when you want to implement an ERP system. That is when you want to configure an ERP system, the first step is the BPM. Whereas process mining gives you the map of the actual process. That is where the optimization comes. Once you implement it, you have a transaction which is happening. Those transactions are called as maybe you have to have it as an event log. So event log is what is the actual process, and that is where the process mining happens. So process mining gives the map of the actual process. So what is the business value in process mining? It is for highlighting bottlenecks, unproductive variance, deviations, and reworks. That is where you need to optimize this the process. And most of the Fortune 500 company have does process mining these days. In the last few years, they are focusing on process mining so that they have an efficient system, so that they are able to undo or take away all the bottlenecks, and they have a good system in place, and they save huge amount of millions of money in this fine tuning the process. So that is where the process mining has become important. So these insights later used for further process improvement. So process mining, so data mining aims to discover a pattern, a massive, so it's a kind of a what to say, like from process mining and data mining both uses kind of a machine learning or statistical algorithm so that improvement can happen. In short, process mining is the use of data mining technique and mathematical algorithm to sort out business process with the end goal of streamlining and simplifying them to the benefit of the company bottom line. Is the use of, so process mining is the use of data mining techniques or machine learning or data science technique. That is the point to note. So based on the event log, you use the data mining techniques to find out, streamline your process. Both of them as emerge as a part of business intelligence and provides the necessary information for the data-backed business solution. So that's about it. I think now you have an idea what is BPM, business process mining, that leads to the process mining. And when you say process mining, that involves the data mining techniques as well, so that you can streamline your business process. So that's about it. Thank you.